All right, morning to you, Brian. Morning to you. All right, today is Thursday, 30th of September. We are just, today will be the end, after today will be the end of September month. We have finally crossed one of the toughest months in the financial market, and we're going to go into a bigger one. Okay, a seismic October month. Okay, now do understand this. Okay, October month has always been a very incredible month. Okay, all probably you know, is that actually all the big crashes usually happen in month of October. But it doesn't mean that means you have to sell towards October. I will share with you great information about how to handle this October month, because it's going to be pretty good if you know how to capture both sides of the coin. Okay, all right, so today MAO is going to be full of information. We can go slow. All right, we will enjoy this session. All right, let's go then, everybody. Now, of course, to recap what we shared yesterday, a little bit of some of the recap of what happened yesterday. Now, yesterday in the Dow Jones, I mentioned that the Dow Jones will likely be trading around the 34,300 level. Okay, and I said that if the Dow Jones is to recover, it may return to test 34,734. Okay, now I gave a specific level, this was mentioned, and I said that only if the Dow Jones go below 34,300, then we may see it going down to 33,835. Okay, so that was what we mentioned yesterday. And of course, let's take a look. Wow, look at it, incredible. The Dow Jones came down very nicely. The Dow Jones came down beautifully. It came down to this point here itself, which is exactly what I mentioned, this point here, okay, exactly. And then it recovers. And of course, this is what happened. We said that if it hangs around the support area here, it will recover. So you can see that whatever we say really seemed to manifest. All right, pretty cool stuff, right? Indeed. Okay, so that's what happened yesterday on the Dow Jones. Then we talked about the this is a Nasdaq. Okay, now the Nasdaq, I mentioned that if the Nasdaq is to stay up, okay, it will be going up towards this point here, which is 14,933 level. Okay, you can see that the drawing is there. I said that only if it goes down, then it will be going towards 14,460 level, right? So again, this is what we mentioned. And of course, what happened, take a look. Wow, really, really incredible. Look at it. The day high of the day, okay, is exactly the number we mentioned. And that is 14,933 level. This is getting very scary. You know that every day itself, after I do my MAO, after I write down my numbers, then after that, throughout the whole day, I see those numbers really happening. And I'm able to show you all this, shows you that how incredible our technical analysis is. This is really insane, all right? So that's the reason why, if you have actually remembered the MAO rule, and if you waited the Nasdaq to go up to this point, and when it came back down, you shorted here, wow, that's a pretty decent profit because it came back down 200 points, exactly from where we mentioned. Really, this is really live sharing and recap. So guys, if you think that I did a pretty decent job here itself, please keep spot on, all right? If you think that I've done a decent job, just keep it spot on, okay? I would love to have your reply there so that at least, you know, that I feel that, okay, you guys are listening and you guys appreciate what I'm doing right here. And of course, like I say, every time in MAO itself, right, if I do write some numbers on the chart, especially if I write numbers on the chart, that means that I'm telling you that you probably need to focus on the counter. You notice that I do about 10 charts, 10 different markets, right? And 10 different markets, I give you the conventional and the non-conventional, the conventional one and the TWB chart. If I actually put an effort to write some numbers over there, that means I'm investing in insinuating to you that this market you better watch, because this is I got a pretty good feel for this. Okay, so that is the reason why you know, do take note of that. Not every chart I will write the numbers. Yeah, not everyone. You should know that right now. All right, agree? Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, Cheng Kui, Brian, Susan, and Luis. All right, let's continue. All right. Then this is the one that people was really impressed. I told you guys that gold price will likely go up first and then come back down. I said that gold price will go up first. You can see that in my drawing here. I said that the gold price will go up first, and then after that it will come back down. Now, why did I say that? Because I said the KSI is red, the blue bar extended downward, so it happened. So you can see that yesterday the gold price really went up and then come back down. And of course, we said that the gold price will come back to test 1728. Indeed, it also really happened. All right. So all these things, basically, you can't lie because you can go backtrack on my MAO and you can see that the videos are up there. You know, it's that you cannot edit a live video. All right. So all are there. Okay. So for those who have made money from it, congratulations to you. Okay, so the thing is this, you can see that if you look at it in the bigger scale, you can see that the market really followed through. It went up all the way. And once it loses the our pivot level, that's where the gold price really came down. That's what I shared that will likely be happening yesterday on gold. Okay. All right, now the thing is this. So now people are getting really worried, asking me, Cal, why is gold not performing? Why is gold coming down? Why is it happening? And I tell you way long time ago, I told you that, yes, usually when the equity market goes up, gold will go down. Vice versa, if the equity market goes down, gold usually goes up. Now that is in the past. But nowadays, it doesn't work that way. You look carefully, it's all right. Gold, whenever the equity market goes up, right, gold generally will also follow through. And if the equity market pulls back down, gold also comes back down. Yes, this is a very interesting phenomenon here, but this is really happening. Okay, so all I can tell you is this: don't put them side by side, just trade them individually. When you need to long equity, just long equity. You need to short gold, just short gold and stuff like that. You don't put them side by side. It doesn't really help. I know that a lot of trainers, a lot of teachers, gurus, they're all saying that, you know, gold and the Dow is this. Because what they do is that they only compare what they want to show it to you. So if they compare what happened in year 2011, when the market is coming down a little bit and gold is going up, so they compare and tell you, see, it works, right? But if they actually look at the last 10 years, 20 years, right, you notice that it doesn't really work. It actually goes together. That's the reason why I tell you that someone now, I told you before that gold is more like a sacrifice lamb. So whenever the equity market falls, right, you will see that gold price will also be dumped. Not to buy, is to be dumped. The only time where gold price will go opposite direction of the equity market is when the equity market keep on falling, and then they realize that there's nothing more to do, and they realize that the dollar is deflating, that means going down, then gold will go up, because there's nothing else to combat the inflation or combat as a hedge. But you look carefully in the charts today, you don't see that. Okay? So now I'll tell you a very important thing about the October month itself. It's a seismic October month. Now, seismic means that big movement, all right, like an earthquake. Okay, you're going to basically unrattle you. Now, this is the average VIX by month since 1990 to 2019. So we're talking about 30 years historical data here. So 30 years historical data. Okay. Now, VIX, when I say VIX means, right, it's about volatility. It doesn't mean that the market must go down and you go up. If the market can be going up very fast, the VIX indicator can also goes up. Okay, so you must understand that. So you can see that overall itself, the last 30 years, about the last 30 years, the October month itself has the highest volatility. It's really incredible. And if you notice this, right, today the VIX is trading at 21 or so today. Yes, the VIX today is trading at 21. So it seems like it's in line with together. And if you look at this right now, right, this is what everybody must understand. You look at it. The largest one-day jump ever. It means that in a single day, that had the biggest movement. Okay, you can see that, right? It happened also during October month. October, see that? October 30th, October the 6th, all right, and October the 13th, October the 28th. But of course, all these itself, right, you know, these are very big jump we're talking about, really. But if you look at it carefully, almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, 11 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 11, 5 of them are October month, and about 2 of them are September month. So you see that September, October, these 2 months itself, right, usually have big volatile movement. Of course, we haven't seen a 9% intraday movement, because this is what happened in 1987 and 1929. That's a very long time ago. But I'm just giving a ballpark figure and understanding that October month usually have big movement. Okay, and if you look at October month, of course, with the largest one-day drop, and obviously we know what happened in 1987 on the 19th of October, whereby the market dropped by 20.47% in a single day itself. Okay, that led to the big crash, okay, on that day back on 19th October. And of course, on 28th October in 1929, the Great Recession, it happened again. Okay, and then of course in 1929, on 29th October, the next day, it happened again. And of course, after that, in 1937 and in 2008, it also happened around there. So again, it seems that October month is really a very scary month. It can give you a lot of wealth if you're on the right side. That means that if you buy in the market, woo, goes up, right? Congratulations, hell of money to make. But if you are on the wrong side, then you'll be in trouble, because you need to hold on the position until you can recover. You understand my point? So this is a very, very important thing for this October. You have to capture this run. So I repeat myself one more time. Please use this October month to do it. Get the money, because this is the best month to trade. Okay, follow the rules, follow the chart, follow the trend. You're gonna make money. Okay, all right. If you like this sharing itself, please key the word like, LIKE. All right, if you like this sharing, all right. Basically, this is very important, because I think that October month will be a very good month for us to make a lot of money, and I want you guys to set a target. Aim for 50K, aim 100K. Try to make that money, and that will be very good for you in the coming 2 months during the Christmas period. Okay, let's do it. All right. Okay, all right. So that is the October month sharing. And this morning, when I was actually watching YouTube, right, getting all my information, I realized that this guy here, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, came back again, and now again says that he predicts a giant stock market crash in October. And he says that this October month, it will go down, everything will go down, equity market go down, gold will go down, Bitcoin will go down, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So if you want to actually look what he's saying, you can listen. But do remember, since 2017 until today, he's been calling for sell. Really, not kidding you, Rich Dad Poor Dad guy. Again, he has been calling for sell for the last 4 years. And obviously, we all know that the market didn't really go down. So all I can say is this, okay, if you want to go to, just Google him and you can watch that video and you can see that he actually is everywhere now. Okay? Okay, all right. All right, so disclaimer as usual, my job is to translate chart to you from the third party view. And of course, my point is this: end of the day, you make your final decision to make the money from the market. All right? Okay. All right, so once you understand this, you accepted the above and you identified me. Thank you. Let's go. All right, thank you for all the likes itself. Appreciate you guys very much. Hey, brother, I see you, man. Brother Yatom is online today. Cool. All right. Now, our Hang Seng definitely is getting a lot of good coverage, all right? Students are actually really making money. And of course, when they make money, they post their winning, they post their losses, of course, all right? And you can see that some people make as much as $500 to $1,000 in a single day. Of course, there are some people who lost about $300, $200 per day. Yeah, it's something like that. So, end of the day is this, guys, we are doing pretty well. We started this Hang Seng group since the start of the month. And after now, today, it's the 30th already, right? 1 month later, 20 trading days done. I think our result has been pretty impressive, okay? All right, we have only like 1 or 2 down days of 20 possible trading days. So that's the reason why I say that we are at the right track with Hang Seng, guys. If you want to join us, do consider doing that. Oops. Okay, so the thing is this, yesterday we saw the pending home sales was up, well, quite a bit, huh? It was up really quite a bit. Now, previously, they were looking at minus 2%, and then when it happened itself, it came on point. They forecast something higher. But incredibly itself, right, yesterday was 8.1%. Wow, that was a very good number. So that's why you saw equity market initially went up. But after a while later, right, all this fizzled out. Okay, crude oil inventories was a stunner also. First time after so long, there's a positive number. Maybe people have to realize that, hey, crude oil is going up, let's just pump in our oil. So what happened to crude oil? Once it hit about $75, it took profit. And fortunately, we also took profit along the way. Jerome Powell came in to speak last night, and of course, he was very clear. She's just repeating himself about the inflation. I'll share this more with you shortly. All right. Now, today, Thursday, we are going to have our initial jobless claim. Okay. The initial jobless claims is at 335 as forecast. So, guys, now everybody ready? Okay. What will be your guess? You must be perfect. Okay. You must be perfect. Guess the initial jobless claim tonight. Guess the initial jobless claim tonight. Okay, must be perfect. It means that the figure that you predict must be exactly. The winner will take back home 6.88. Okay, ADA coin. Okay, let's go. Give me your numbers. Okay. All right. Now the thing is this: if there is going to be any like tie, then of course the total will share the price. But you have to be perfect. That means that no less, no more. Okay, but a perfect number. All right. So please key your number right now. This is what we do every week. Every week we do 1 or 2 sessions like this. Now we just want you to be intrigued, engaged with the market. We want you to really understand that it's very important to know global market news. Global market news from where I'm sharing is always from a very big picture. We try to funnel down to the technical point. So usually it happens to the information is like I got it from pretty good places. Then I share with you. Sometimes you may not see it actually happening immediately. It'll take a while for it to really be digested by traders. But end of the day, you notice that it actually all linked. All right, so we have that result. We have quite a few of numbers. People are joining this little guessing game. All right, I count the last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, that's it. Okay, after me, not halted already. Mine is 3, 6, 7. So let's see whether we are right or not. Hopefully, I give out the price tomorrow. It's not going to snowball to 9.88 already. Wow. Okay. All right. Now let's look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones was up initially. I think the home sales did a great job. It pushed the Dow Jones to 34,500 to almost 34,600 level. But towards the end, very interesting. It fizzled out all the way. All right. It fizzled out. Was one they realized that probably this inflation is here to stay. The tapering may really have to come in, stuff like that. The market took profit. So let's look at what the CNBC has to cover on this part here itself. So first of all, it was the technology that suffered. All right, why is that so? Because the 10-year yield actually traded below 1.5% in the Asian market. Then after that, by the later part itself, right, it went back up to 1.54. That means it went down below 1.5. So 1.5 is like a psychological thingy. So the market was like, okay, maybe it's not as worried. But suddenly towards the end, it recovered back to 1.5%. And in fact, 1.54%. In fact, it went up to high of 1.56%. You know that? So the market is getting a little bit like, hey, what is going on? How come like this and stuff like that? Okay. And of course, now the people are getting worried because the debate on the debt ceiling is still ongoing, the Washington spending, the infrastructure, all these is weighing down. And of course, we have this JP Morgan Chase CEO, Jamie Dimon, came in and said that, you know what, you really need to be very careful because if the US hit the debt ceiling, the market will get into a big problem, there'll be financial crisis, blah, 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 blah. So all these things is just, to me, it's just a wayang show. Wayang means like Oprah show. It's just full of noise. It doesn't help you because one moment they are bringing it up, bring it down, this one bringing it up itself. You just have to concentrate on the charts, okay? You just have to follow, that's all. There's nothing else to predict at the end of the day. So of course, the higher bond yield will definitely push the hawkishness to the Federal Reserve, and of course that will basically cause a little bit of, some warning sign to pop up. But still, end of the day itself, right? It all depends on which sector are you rotating your funds to. So definitely growth counter like technology, they would not be that welcoming such a high yield. But the other counter, like the value stocks itself, right? They may be focused. Okay. And I repeated to you, right? If energy stocks do come down, it will be a good time to look for buy. All right. I did tell you don't chase energy stock first. It really was what we mentioned 1 month ago. And it really went up by 10 to 15%. Now you will likely be pulling back. Then this is whereby you look and focus. It will be a good time to buy back again. So energy stocks is what I'm looking at. Okay, energy stocks. Okay, so let's just do a big recap of what happened last night. Okay, now last night the Dow Jones opening price was between the two pivot. Okay, it's a very slow market yesterday. Now we all know that the KSI was red in color, so initially it went down first. But after it went down, it recovers and go above OP. Now we know, right, above OP, above pivot 1, CCRY will be a buy, right? We all know that. But because the KSI is red in color, the upside will be limited to KTR plus 1 to KTR plus 2 maximum. So that is what we all know before we even start trading. So therefore, right, when the market really moved, it seemed to rehearse accordingly. The market just ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. But once it crosses above the pivot 1, right, and it's above OP, you can see in general it tries to goes up. But because yesterday the market is so heavily resisted at the KTR plus 1, really heavily resisted. After a while later, it basically came back down again. So yesterday was a very slow day, very sideways. There was no movement. Even though we had the home sales doing so well, the market did not react. Because now the market attention is seriously on the yields and also looking at whether or not, whether White House can really settle down the debt ceiling. All right, so that's what's happening. So usually when the market behave like this, I always tell traders to be very careful. Because when you cannot move, it's not because the market is not ready, but the market is preparing for a direction. So once the direction is confirmed, the movement will be big, it'll be exaggerated, and it could be pretty volatile. Okay, take note of that. Huh? Okay, so Susan came in so late. Susan, no choice. Okay, now yesterday gold. Now I mentioned to you gold is still down. Now, I want to just recap a little bit, guys. I know that by doing this bit of rewinding the tape, but remember this guy here, we have a CCRY on the chart on gold, right? But after that, immediately it turned out to be a CCYR the next day. And that's the reason why we cut loss on our long and turn short. Now, look at it, guys. This is what you have lost in terms of trade. But look at this. This is the downside that the gold went down later on. So don't you realize that it's very important to just cut your losses, and if the rule calls for sell or the opposite direction, you can do it. And you can see that the gold really kept going down. And of course, you can see the KSI is still red in color, although the KSI is actually declining. So take note of this as well, right, guys? The KSI on the day chart is actually declining as the market is going down. There is 1 round, 2 rounds, and 3 rounds of KCX blinking at the bottom, but yet there is no indication of buying it. So that is whereby I'm getting more and more serious, looking at this closely and watching gold. Once we have a pretty decisive move, I believe that gold will be able to rebound rather substantially also. So traders, you have to watch out for this and watch out, okay? Now, yesterday, gold basically hit the pivot 1, supposed to go higher, but because the KSI is red in color, that's why the market will be limited to KTR plus 1 to KTR plus 2. And if the market cannot clear that 2 level and goes below the pivot 1, it will be a sell. And you can see what happened. Really, it already happened. So, excuse me. So initially, this is a BMB. Can you see that? A BMB followed by a CCRY. And then the gold price goes up. And of course, when it goes above OP and pivot 1, it went higher. Okay, so good. It went to KTR plus 1, and that is where it stopped there. It pulled back down again. Incredibly, you notice this. Oh my goodness, look at it. Now, pivot 1 is a calculated figure. The system automatically does that. But yet, look at this area here itself. The market just seemingly no pivot 1 exists and stopped there and then rejected and go higher. So again, all these shows that the market is already manipulated from the very first moment. That's the reason why I tell you guys this is no need to go and think too much of the market. You just have to follow through and trade accordingly. You should be able to make some good money from there. So you don't need to really crack your brain to find out what to do, where's the technical points. You don't need to do that. But of course, what happened? The gold after that came off. Once it came off and went below the pivot 1, that means that all the buying have a stop because now it's below OP, it's below P1 right now. So the reason for buying has already no longer there. And of course, look at it. When the market goes below the OP, well, that's it. That was where the gold started to come down very, very fast. And that's the reason why when the gold was down below OP, I shared with you guys, I believe that we could see 1728 because that is a KCB level. All right, 1728 is a KCB level. So all these really shows that if you know your charts very well, you know what is this all these lines all about, you just have to follow through, you should be able to make some money. All right, so that's a recap for yesterday. Let's look at some global news before we look at the charts for today. Now, first of all, well, unfortunately, this morning, 8 seniors died of COVID-19, bringing death toll to 93 in Singapore. And a single day itself is 2,268. Okay, this is really very sad because it's like this is the highest number in a single day for death. So apparently it's not right. The average age that the people that pass on is about 72 to 90. So it seems that already the older folks are getting hit. So that's why people, we're home with our older folks, friends and family members, please kindly take care of them. All right, this is going to be very dangerous. Okay, and of course you must understand that this is the 10th straight day that we have death from the COVID-19. So, but the thing is this: if you look carefully in terms of the cluster, I just cannot really find where the reason why restaurant cannot be having 5 people. I mean, I just feel that way itself. Okay, so anyway, you can see that dormitories are the one leading the show, lodge, and also hostel and some education center, daycare center. So it seems that all these are where the main cluster is. So of course, you technically have to avoid all these places to protect yourself. So, but I don't see any other than that. So kind of question mark what Singapore government trying to do, but again, I will not go near that. Now, this is a news whereby I believe that we may have heard it, but you don't see in the mainstream media. Very interesting. Now, apparently China got hit with power problem the last 2 days. Apparently it's all right, there's a power outage, all right, 2 days ago, and it hit as many as 20 provinces. Really, no kidding. About 20 provinces in China was suffering from this power shortage. And of course, definitely business was affected, resident was affected, and people getting very worried. Okay, why is it like that? China, you are the biggest country, all right, and yet you're having this problem. Okay, so there are some saying that because there's not enough coals to go around, they're saying that because there's a lot of things that's really happening in China. So that's why the 3 main thing is expensive coal prices, the energy dual control, and the supply underperforming. These are the reason from there itself. But again, I cannot be sure exactly what's the problem because I went through the articles and I see that everyone have a different writing. But definitely we have a problem because if China itself get affected and you cause the supply chain to be down, then you will just spread down and hit everybody else later. So that's the reason why, again, this doesn't look good, okay? And of course, Jerome Powell yesterday came in and said that he is very frustrated because he said that this inflation will continue, okay? Okay, now he's saying that there is a chance of inflation continuing, and we all of us have seen this happening. Now, do note again, now we are running at the highest level in the last 30 years, okay? So he said that, right, next year, the economic growth will be very good, but now we do know that the inflation is there, okay? So he felt that, right, the inflation overall is a good thing, just like what Tom Lee says that, okay, inflation means things are moving, things get more expensive. That means the sales will go up, the revenue will go up, and blah, 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 blah. But again, I said that is on the positive front. The negative front is that if people will be able to spend that money. So that is another thing that probably we can argue on this for a long while. But then again, Morgan Stanley says that, right, you know what, this thing is not going to stop, right? Inflation will go up, hence therefore, he expects that crude oil prices will go to $80 to even $85. And of course, he mentioned that if the crude oil price do ever go to that level, right, what will happen? Yeah, the thing is this, that will definitely affect the entire market. The market will be, it will cause more problem for the society. Yeah, so he mentioned that if this is continue, if crude oil price really goes higher, there will be a good chance that it will cause a financial crisis. Okay, so that's what Morgan Stanley says. You can see from here itself, you're looking at their bull case scenario, they're looking at $85 per barrel. Wow, okay. So again, all these are cited by them, telling you because supply getting lesser, people want more, and we're approaching winter period. So usually the demand for this is there. So all these things I mentioned, so you can go and take a look. And of course, China and India are the main world top oil importer. So they are also beginning to sell oil this month, okay, as their strategic reserve is in unprecedented move, okay. So all these are really happening around the whole world, and that's the reason why, in my opinion, crude oil is still going to go up. So any pullback on crude oil will be a good time to look for it to buy, and then look forward to go up again. $80, in my opinion, is going to be easily met. Okay, $85 is something that is somewhere in my range for this year itself. So traders, my view is going to be this. I believe that, right, crude oil will be moving higher. So now we have $75 recently on the crude oil, right? I believe that it may go down to $71 somewhere around here, and then it may go back up again. And my target is about $83 by December 2021. Okay, this is my personal target. Okay, so of course, energy stocks will definitely be, it will definitely be able to benefit from this. Okay, so watch out for energy counter, right? Some of them, I think you've been hearing that Occidental, Chevron, and stuff like that. Okay. All right, so some of the very important market information for your reference. Please take a look. This is very important. Stay tuned, don't run away. Okay, first of all, this is the US dollar currency. You notice that yesterday, oh my goodness. Look at it, guys. Look at the way the US dollar shoot up in a single day. Yesterday was probably the biggest one-day movement for a long time. The last one I think was nearer to it was this guy here itself back in this June period, okay? But that was after the market sold down quite a fair bit, and then the market recovered, right? So that was what actually happened. So what you can see is that yesterday the dollar currency got into demand. So think about this, just a couple of months ago in June, July period, everybody was telling you that, oh, the dollar will crash, the dollar will sell down, the dollar will do this, the dollar will do that. And I told you that not really, because if tapering is to happen, that means that there will be a reduction of dollar, and the reduction of dollar will actually cause the dollar index to go up. And this will actually give a bit of problem for the gold market, because the gold itself, right, is actually pretty intertwined with this, very inversely related with the dollar. Hence, they will go the other side, and this is what really happening. So the dollar index, I believe that there's still pretty much room to go a little bit higher. I believe that only when the tapering really set in, and then the market will pull back, because market buy on anticipation, they sell on facts, right? So likely the dollar index will go higher, and that may add a little bit more pressure on the gold market. So you have to be careful on this, okay? All right. On the flip note itself, right, you can see that the U.S. government bonds continue to go high. This is government bonds. This is not the this is a yield. Sorry, my bad. This is a yield, and the yield is still holding about 1.52%, 1.53%. All right. Yesterday there's some pullback, but overall itself, you can see it's very firming it. My target is 1.6% easily by within the next few weeks itself. Okay, 1.6%, and with that happen itself, right, I believe there'll be another wave of this uncertainty coming in. But what is scary is that this is what happened on Michael Burry. Michael Burry shorted this counter, the 20-year plus year Treasury bonds ETF, and you can see that his short seemingly now is starting to make some decent profit. I think his average short is somewhere around here and here, if I'm not wrong. So now the price has came back down, maybe he just break even level. I believe that he's looking at somewhere around here, 138 to 134 level. And this is actually very feasible if the US yield go up to 1.7 to 1.8%, okay? So all these are actually happening right now, and seemingly someone is winning the bet. All right, so Chamath, we know him, right? He is the one of the very few technical guy that people follow already, literally follow, and he's actually getting a bit worried, all right? He went on this CNBC, and he says that, right, he likes hyper growth company, cash generating businesses, and a handful of assets like Bitcoin. He says that Bitcoin will eventually hit 200,000, but now he said that put away for a while. He believed that there's going to be a bigger move later on, but he's not that concerned to jump into the market right now. All right. So this guy is pretty smart guy. Follow him. You can see that he do have a bit of followers. Okay. And he's also saying that, right, he actually sold off some of his counter. And one of them, obviously, is one of the people's favorite, and that is Tesla. Okay, he basically sold some Tesla away. Now he sold this Tesla is because he says that he needed the money. He needed the money to do some other investment. He said that he sold off. Okay, he basically himself, right? He would use it for other businesses. Okay, so he said he don't have an infinite pool of capital. So when he has some ideas, he just dump them and move on. Okay, but he's saying that this Tesla has really got more room to go. But if there's more room to go, then he basically sold his position. Probably that maybe the upside is not that attractive, or maybe he probably think that the other project will yield him more. So anyway, it's all right. I get for you the Tesla chart for you to take a look. This is Tesla. So Tesla has been firming itself every time when Tesla share come down to the moving average, and that is 50-day moving average. It basically over there and goes up. So now it's moving up, right? So Tesla now we can see the last resistance was around here about 780 level. This is where we are right now. So mathematically speaking, if the technical side, if the market do break 780, there is a very good chance we could see 880 coming in again. And this 880 was a long time ago when it happened in March early this year. So this is one side of it. But of course, if the market pulls back, I kind of believe that you'll come back to the MA again. So 720 to 730 level will be a preferred level to buy. Okay, so if you're asking me about this Tesla, this level will be a better buy. All right, so you can consider that as well. Okay, Tesla. For you guys, okay, done. Now, Santoli, a market correspondent, says that right September stock market usually down, and seemingly it's happening. Okay, so what will happen is that means that it will potentially follow through to October month, and then the October month will bottom out before the rally for the end of the year Christmas rally. I kind of agree with that as well. But of course, if you look carefully back what Tom Lee has said, he said September month will be very good month. Then October month, the market will sell down. And then now you have this Robert Kiyosaki coming in and say that October month will sell down. Then we also saw what happened in October in terms of volatility. So I cannot deny this. My mind is very clear. If October month, the market is going to come down, I will definitely be looking to short the market. And of course, when you hit a pretty good level, a low level, I think that's where you double down to buy up. Yeah, I think somewhere along that direction. All right, do you agree with this strategy? Do you agree with this strategy? If you agree, please keyword agree. All right. If you agree that we should look out for the sell down first, and then from the bottom we buy it up. If you agree with this statement, then just keyword agree. All right. I'll see how many of you agree with this statement. If you're not, if you disagree, kindly share with us why you disagree. What is the strategy that you think will be better? Let us know so we can learn from one another. Okay. So apparently it's all right. He says that the current thing is now the evergreen is a big issue. Yesterday, evergreen is supposed to have some follow-up, but apparently the Chinese government is so quiet as if it never happened. That's fantastic, you know that? Such a big thing itself, yet they can keep it under wrap. That is marvelous, okay? That's one thing. Then we also know that now they're all waiting for the Congress to nod their head, but it's going to be tough because that means that more money will be taken out. Eventually, it will bankrupt the reserve, but again, that is what they're trying to do right now. And almost half of the S&P 500, top 500 counters now are 10% off their high. Okay, that means that Nasdaq is off 5%. We all know that, but the Dow Jones is not. No, so that means that at least half of them itself are still is really showing that they are weak. But the index itself as a whole is still pretty strong. So why is that happening itself? Most likely because some of the index stocks are being held up, pumped up to maintain the current situation. So whether or not what's happening there's a question mark is this that retailers now are going back again. Look again, guys, retailers are going back again and they are going to buy more bullish covered calls. Okay, wow, okay, they're buying more. Okay, so you can see right here now, okay, you can see over here they are all reloading their bullish call options back. All right, and this is something that you must take note. Now, the last time when they did it, the market goes up because the boys were with them. But this time around, the boys looks like not with them, but they are just thinking that, hey, you know what? We don't need the boys anymore. We can do it ourselves. So when I see a retailer behaving like this, it's all right. I kind of tell myself that as a trader for 20 years, we know that if retailers think that they're the king, They think that they know what to do. They decided that it's not important to follow the boys, and we all know that what will usually happen next time. Don't you agree with that? So FYI itself, right? I will cover this more intensive next month itself, because this is going to be very, very incredible stuff. Okay. All right. So that will be all for the market news. Okay. All right. Let's go to the charts right now. The bull goes moo, the bear goes grrr, and the lemming go is different this time. All right. It's always I do it on purpose, but this is what actually happening right now. Okay, let's look at the China A50 first. Now, do note once again, China market will close tomorrow. I repeat, China market will close tomorrow. It's the big holiday. All right, 10月1号. Okay, that will be closed for one whole week. So tomorrow close, then it will close underway all the next Friday. Then Monday resume trading. Then Hong Kong will also be closed tomorrow, all right, only for one day. But that means that, right, the Hong Kong market will be really focusing on what the US market is doing, and also hope that nothing happens in China the next few days, okay? But that is what you must take note of. So if you have position in the China A50, do close your position by today, because you don't want to hold them for one whole week. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is, right, for those who are also trading Hang Seng today, do note tomorrow Hang Seng will close, so also be very careful of your Hang Seng position later today. All right. Okay, so now, wow, look at it. This is really incredible. You know, I love it to see my technical analysis come into a very incredible accuracy. See, this is like point A I mentioned to you, and this is like point B that I have connected for you. You notice that now point C, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them all hit the technical point perfectly, as if that they know that this line exists. So what can I speculate today? Now, most likely today, there is a very fair chance the market may buy up in the first part of the day. But usually towards the second half of the afternoon, the market may take some profit, because you should know it's because they want to take profit ahead of the holiday. They don't want to take risk, right? So kind of expected that, oh, wow, as I'm speaking already, the China A50 is moving already. As I'm speaking right now, the China A50 is already moving up. So it shows that, you know, my understanding is still there. Okay, so if the market goes past the technical point, what we need to focus is whether it stays above it. If it stays above it, that means this trend line is no longer in use. That means the market could be going higher. Now, if the market basically get resisted at the technical point and pull back, then we know that the MA30 will still be not important itself. But at the moment now, we're still a bit distant away, so we don't need to worry too much on the China A50. Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong this morning also kind of flat now. Opening price is almost the same as yesterday's closing, pretty flat. So maybe you get some direction from the China A50. Now, for Hong Kong market, it's the same thing again. At the moment now, it's all waiting to see what the US and the China markets trying to do. It's been flat for the last 5 days, so do expect that maybe there might be some short covering maybe happening, or the market may just liquefy position. So I don't know which side it will go today. I tell you today, I don't know. Yeah. So all I tell you is very simple. If the market goes below MLP, I will more to the short side. If the market like now stays above MLP, then I'll be looking at the long side. Okay. For to me, today now for Hong Kong, I got no much direction also, using the conventional chart, because you can see it's pretty sideways, so it's very difficult to speculate when market goes sideways. All right. Yeah. Yes, it's 10大, yeah, that should be National Day, but all right. Yeah. Okay. 10月1号, right? Yeah. National Day for China. Okay. National holiday, 黄金周. Yeah. Okay. The Golden Week. Okay. All right. Let's look at the Hong Kong chart first for this morning. Okay, so this is the Hong Kong chart right now. Let me bring it in first. Okay, just give me a moment. Some messages coming in as usual. Hold on, just give me a short moment of this. Okay, sorry to do that. Okay, so for Hong Kong today, let me bring out this chart away. Now, Hong Kong now is trading below OP right now, and the KSI is red in color. So that means that the market is looking towards further downside. Okay, OP is here, right? The KSI is red in color. is between the two pivots. So it means that if it goes down, it should be able to go to KTR -1 rather easily. And it may go to even KTR -2. So traders who are short in Hang Seng, you can consider the buying back a position at about KTR -1 level or -2, right? That is what you can consider to do for Hang Seng. Okay, traders. Now, if Hang Seng goes above OP, right, then the upside, I think, about KTR +1 bar. Because, like I say, the upside itself is going to be muted because of the KSI that's red in color. Okay, so if it goes up, KTR +1 will be the target. Okay. All right, let's look at the Dow Jones now. Okay, now Dow Jones is really incredible. It's really so perfect that it got so scary. You know that? Why scary? Look at it, the Dow Jones, right? I told you the Dow Jones will have a resistance, have a support, at a 34,300 level. I mentioned that yesterday, 34,300. And if you look at the recap of yesterday's market, oh my goodness, you'll be freaking out. Take a look, guys. This is the Dow Jones yesterday. Look at it. Look at it. It went up first, okay? Went up. Then when it came back down, right? You notice that the moment it touches the MA30, the one that I told you, 34,300 level. Look at it, as if that they know this guy exists, and that is a low of the day, and the market miraculously recovered and wow, went up again. That is like another 250 point. Oh my goodness. 250 point. All you do just buy somewhere around here, put a stop loss around here. This is like your 1x, right? So with the market going up to all this point itself, you will make about 4 to 6x's. So if you reach 100, you get back $600. Amazing. It's not the 250 points you are looking at, no. It's the lot size that you enter and the risk that you get involved yourself. So it's a very low risk, high return thingy, and that's the reason why we want to introduce to you the TWB basic package. So if you actually utilize it and play it properly, you're going to make a lot of money from that. Really, I'm not kidding you, my friends. I'm not kidding you. Okay, so all I can tell you is this today. What is the number for today? The number for today, everybody take note, pen and paper. The number is 34,312. Okay, 34,000. 312. Okay, so that is the MA 200 level that has formed a very powerful base for the Dow Jones. Okay, today's MLP is somewhere around here, and that's about 34,395. The MA 30 happened to be on top. Now you can see that the MA 30 and MA 200 is trying to converge already. So what if we converge? What will happen? Well, if we converge downwards, if the MA 30 goes below the MA 200 and the price is still going down, that will become a very, very dangerous death cross. And death cross is something that we don't want to see, especially if you're long in equity market. You got it? Yeah, so that is what we need to watch out for. Okay, so right now for you, Dow, the MA 200 support estimate at 34,312. The MLP is estimated at 34,395, and the MA 30 is estimated at 34,713 level. Okay. So guys, all I can say is this: if the market wants to go up, it will stay above MLP, and it may try to recover all the way towards the MA 30 level. Okay, if not itself, it has to stay focused and above the MLP. Now, if it loses MLP, 34,312 will be the main support. It has to stay, and if it doesn't stay, then the downside is going to come back down to the 95%. I repeat myself: if the market fails to stay above, then the market has the possibility to come back down to here, which is the 95% mark, and that is 33,835 level. Okay, so this one we just take note of that. Okay. Okay, all right, that will be the Dow Jones. Now, weekly chart itself, right, it doesn't look very good. This is like, if this is going to stay on like this today and tomorrow, then there will be another week of a downside, and this means that this is going to be the 4th down week in the 5 weeks. This is not going to look good because that will actually create a bit of panic in the market. So let's see whether the Dow can recover later today. Okay. So let's look at the Hang Seng right now. Hang Seng is still pretty flat. Don't know what to do. It's still fidgeting around the opening price. We do not have any clear indication for the market at this moment. It's kind of rare though, but then this is expected because we're going on holiday. So traders doesn't want to take any risk. So we just have to follow through and make the money from the market. Okay, so the Dow Jones today, we have a CCRY positioning on the Dow today. I repeat, today it's CCRY. CCRY positioning on the Dow today. Yeah, you see that? Okay, but the KSI is red in color, so which means that your final size may have to reduce. Okay, so the thing is this: if the Dow Jones can stay above pivot 1, which is 34,486, which is what's happening right now, the Dow should go higher because above OP, above pivot 1, it will be a buy. But because the KSI is red in color, like I said yesterday, if it stays above P1, no problem, no debate. But if the market eventually comes back down and go below pivot 1, right, then there could be some form of selling coming to the market. Okay, so you need to watch out the movement at the pivot level. The color change, especially at the pivot level, that will be very indicative. Okay, all right, so that's the Dow Jones. Now, Nasdaq, wow. I mean, I'm really speechless and look at the way the Nasdaq stopped perfectly at the 95% mark. So the 95% mark where it came from was from the highest point of the market, which is here. And then we multiply by 0.95, we get this technical point. And the last time we saw this trigger, the market hang around and went up. But incredibly, this time around, once it went up, right, it stopped at the MA30 as if that like a pure technical chart. And then after it came back down. So now for MA30 is somewhere around here, and that's pretty far away at 15,270 level. All right, so where would the market will be heading? Well, first of all, we put MLP first of today. This is MLP of this today, yeah? And you can see that the market is holding above the MLP. So as long as the Nasdaq stays positive, no need to panic. The Nasdaq has to stay above 15,770. As long as the market stays above 770, all is cool and safe. But if it goes down and break, then of course the market has the possibility to go down to the next support level, and that level happens to be the MA200, and that level will be 14463. Okay, so I'll write it down for you guys. Nasdaq. The MLP is estimated at 50. Oh, okay, there's a typo error here. It's not 15, it's 14. Oh, sorry. 14,770. Wait, right. Okay, there's MLP. Then after that, we have the MA200 estimated at 14,463. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so traders, just think of that. As long as the market stays above the MLP for Nasdaq, temporarily is safe. Okay, temporarily. Okay, so that's Nasdaq. Let's look at the TWB chart with the Nasdaq. Let's take a look. The Nasdaq on the day chart is still the same. Its opening price between the two pivots is actually having a KSI that's red in color. Hence, therefore, that means that if the Nasdaq cannot go above 14,824, there could be some resistance. But do note, this morning already, the market has toggled, okay, have triggered the pivot 1 already. Yeah, I see that. It just got triggered if the color changed some more. All right. So, of course, if that is the case, by right, if the market comes back down and it breaks below OP, it should be able to come down to KTR -1. All right. So, traders, watch out for that for Nasdaq. S&P 500 also seems like it's happening. It's a reversal, but it's still forming the base. And as long as the market stays above MLP, which is here, it should be fine. Okay, it should be fine. There's something much more we can talk about S&P 500 right now. I think no technical, nothing else. So as long as the market stays above MLP today, which is at the 43.60 level, we should be okay. Yeah, 43.60 level. Okay, All right, let's go. Okay, so let's look at the S&P chart. S&P chart is now hovering above pivot 1. So, but the KSI is red, so the upside momentum will be KTR +1 to +2 maximum. So traders just take note, although it's above pivot 1, but once it loses below pivot 1, right, the impact of buying is no longer available. Then, of course, anything can happen. Then, of course, if you want to buy it cheap, then you can buy it near the KCV level. You can buy it at the KTR -2, -3, -4 level, right? That's up to you, like, if you want to buy, right? If by rule, just do according to what the rule says, buy, just buy, sell, just sell, right? I think that's more important. Okay, so I covered the indices to look at Nikkei right now. This is the DAX first, sorry. Now, DAX yesterday was really another amazing trade. Look at it. We talk about DAX, and I mentioned that the technical point, and that figure is 15,401, and the DAX perfectly touches it and then come down. And I really, when I see all this, I cannot wait to see to use our TWB basic set. Oh my God, I think I go crazy with it. So you can see what happened right here, very, very clear. Okay, very, very clear that the market basically get itself resisted at this point, which is the MA, and then after that it just pulled down. Okay, so what you can do is that as a trader, if you see the market is moving towards the MA, and you know that this market is going to go down, right? You just let it touch, and then once you come back down, you can start to do your risk management. That means that how much you want to short, all right, how much money you can lose, all right, everything must be pre-calculated before you engage fire. And once you engage fire, you can see that the market easily gives you at least 2x profit, okay, easily 2x profit. So this is while we are trading better than options. So you realize that it's so much better, cleaner, and definitely usable, okay? Now, so for today's DAX, let's take a look for today's DAX. Okay, now today's DAX, we have a pretty small little range. So is that a doji? It looks like a doji to me. You can verify. And of course, we put the MLP for today. MLP will be here, and that's it. Okay. Here we go. So we have the MA30, that's how much higher at 15,580. We have the MA200, which seemingly just a little bit. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. So write it down for you for DAX. Okay, DAX, what we have? DAX, we have the MA200 estimated at 15,405, okay? And then what we have, the next one will be MLP, and this estimate at this 327. Yeah. Okay, all right, got the idea? Yeah. So as long as you know what to do with these numbers, you should be able to trade in between the lines, okay? Okay, all right, that will be DAX. Let's look at the Nikkei. Now, Nikkei is coming off, as I told you, likely it will come down, and my forecast that it will still come down to this point here, and that's 28,822. Remember, I believe that the Nikkei is going to hit there. It's just 500 points away. It is very possible. And of course, when you hit there, it's all right. There have been a lot of people, okay, feeling a pinch because a lot of people have been buying Nikkei the last few days. And I told them, say, around here, must take profit. Some did, some didn't. So I just hope the best for them. Okay? Yeah, okay, that's Nikkei. Let's look at Nikkei today on its own. What do we have for today? Well, Nikkei, I just entered the pivot 1, and that's not very healthy. Below OP, entering pivot 1, that means that the market is looking to sell further. So traders, be very careful. All right, now the KSI is still green, so not so bad. But if you look at it as a whole thing accelerated, it's like a 2 bummer. So the market really had to stay above 30,000. You have to stay above 29,500. If not, there'll be some selling. Okay, I still think that the selling should be able to come down to here, and this point itself, right? Oh, sorry, to here. In fact, sorry, this point is 28,622 level. Okay, all right. So that is the Nikkei. Okay, I covered all the US indices, the Asia indices. Let's now look into the gold and commodities market. Okay, right, stand by everybody. Now, gold. Now, something that I'm not too sure if you realize this, the last few days is all right. Gold in the Asian market will go up. Then towards the US market, especially in the evening, that's where it come off. Now, this is actually not very healthy. It's more like a bit of distribution and accumulation. So if this is going to be the pattern today, and I mean, the going to be the pattern of yesterday and the day before, then of course this morning we should expect gold to go up. And in fact, it's actually going up already. As we're speaking right now, gold is trading higher. So it seems to be telling me that, right, this market is also kind of manipulated. Anyway, so for gold, you can see right now it's below the MA30, it's below the MA200. So in terms of environment, it's definitely towards the seller, okay? But because the thing is this, we always update you with a lot of market news through Telegram and stuff like that. People like it. If you like, say, Kel, this is very good. I like Susan sharing. I like your sharing. Can we like have more of this live? No, as I say, we can continue doing this, no problem, as long as you guys enjoy. Okay, you enjoy, right? And yes, indeed, today the gold low and the today's opening price of gold and the low happen to share the same price. Yes, take a look. This is the low of the day. This is the opening price of the day. The opening price and the low of the day is exactly the same thing. Hence, therefore, the probability of market going higher is definitely there. Okay, it's definitely there. So traders need to take note of that. Okay, all right. So that is the gold market for you to take note of. Let's look at the TWB chart to get the more accurate stuff. Okay, weekly chart still the same. It's definitely going down. That's for sure. Okay, so let's look at gold for today. Now, gold for today, as for you, the market now is trying to stay above pivot 1 at 1731. It's trying to stay above it. If you can hang above it and stay above it, then with your CCRY continuous one, you should be able to make some money. But if the market goes down, okay, and it goes down below OP, then it's going to be quite clear that someone know what to do around this area. So 1707 is the next KCV level. 1728 no longer valid because the market went down close below it already. Yeah, okay. So 1707 will be the next level. So I'm going to put it there. Go next support at 1707 KCV. Okay. Pivot 1 today I showed you. Pivot 1 is 1731.12. So watch out for this. Okay. Yeah. Only today I will show you the pivot because I think the pivot will be highly in use today. Okay. Only today I share. Okay, so for gold itself, I already tell you about it. If you stay above P1, likely to go to PKTR plus 1, it's going to be very high. KTR plus 1, where is it? Let's take a look. Now, KTR plus 1 is just very nearby. KTR plus 1. 1732 is the high of it's a KTR plus 1. And gold price has been basically going up all the way until this point here. So that shows that there's some buying interest because the opening price and the low is exactly the same. Okay, it's exactly the same. When such thing happen itself, right? That means that there'll be big movement coming in on the particular market like this. In this case now will be the gold market. Okay, got it? All right. So how about silver? Now, silver yesterday plunged. Wow, okay, silver yesterday plunged. Then, of course, the buy limit order was filled. Okay, it was all filled. Am I worried? No, I'm not worried. In fact, that's a good time. It's a very good time for you to look at it. So today, silver, you can see pretty clear. The silver MLP will be here for today. The MA30 will be here. The MA200 will be here. So which means that we're talking about very far away. Okay. We're talking about very, very far away technical level. So what do we expect to do? Well, first of all, we just have to wait for opportunity, all right, and see whether how do we go around it. Now, there's no hurry to trade, but there's market to trade every single day. Try to focus for 3 hours per day, trade, make some money in the market. Then after that, spend it wisely with your family members. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing for that. So for silver, it's all right. Any level to buy again, to me, is that we are almost there already. If you actually bring the chart in a little bit, you will notice that this is the silver entire movement, right? Okay, so everybody watch this. I remove something here as well. Okay, so I will take the lowest point, which of recent, which is in March. Okay, and I do a Fibonacci all the way to the high, right? This here, right? The high. Okay. So what is happening right now, if you look at it very clearly, that the for silver is still below the 38.2, but higher than higher than 50%. So you see, what happened is this. Okay, I believe that this will be the temporary base about $21, but I don't mind putting a little bit more at 20.50, and I don't mind putting a bit more at about $20. So like that itself, right? So when silver do come down, right, you can start to pick more and more at a lower point. Now, of course, you may say, well, Kelly, isn't that picking and falling line? Now, trading is not, of course, trading is for long, for short, but you are buying and keep for a long, long while. Of course, the lower price it go down, the better it is. This one is definitely for sure one. So traders, you just have to take note of that and make sure that you follow through, okay? All right, silver. So what's the next level? 21, 20, 50, $20. These are the level that I'm watching out to buy some gold, silver, sorry. I just saw some movement in the market. I think Hang Seng has recovered pretty strongly. Yeah, Hang Seng has hit the MLP beautifully and recovered. So again, shows that how powerful is our MLP. Look at it, how powerful. Take a look. Okay, take a look, guys. The market basically. Hang Seng, right? Sorry. Yeah, the Hang Seng hits the MLP, right? Hits and then now shoot up already. All right, so those who long in the market, congratulations to you guys. Okay. Brian, if gold continue to drop, will silver follow? Yes, it will. Brian, it will. Yeah. If gold drops to sell, right, silver will follow through. That's why I don't mind putting at $20, $50, $20, because I just kind of think that the magnitude of gold going down a little bit more is still possible, right? It's still possible because this is what is ongoing right now, the current trend. No problem, Brian. Okay, so we have sorry to change around. For gold, we already seen what's happening, and gold is still moving higher. Silver, I already told you my personal view about the 20, 50, and $20. I think that's a very good level to look at it. And look at silver in terms of the long-term chart itself, right? The last time we see something like this, where the RSI is at the low, we saw a spike down and then a recovery. Then after that, there's another one more time, which we came down voluntarily, and then the price goes up. And then now we have the silver coming down, and we have technical point after technical point. The market haven't reacted yet, so that means that there should be more downside to go. Okay, that's how I see from this silver point of view with the rest of the world. Okay, so that is silver, and let's look at the last one for commodity is crude oil. Now, crude oil price went to a high of $76.50 yesterday. We have booked out our profit already, and we're going to wait for a while. So for crude oil, I think that maybe if they come back down to here itself, yeah, somewhere around here, about $72 to even $71, then maybe it's a very good chance to buy some of it. Okay, but do note once again itself, right? Crude oil is a very flamboyant market. It's highly noise driven. So if traders, you are not ready to trade it, please trade small with proper risk management. If the price to cut, just cut. Okay. All right. So this is going to be very important information for you guys. All right. Let's look at the crude oil, the TWB chart. Okay, for TWB chart today, the opening price is between two pivot 1 and pivot 2. So if you cross pivot 1, that will be a buy at $75.04. If it goes down below OP, it should be able to come down to $72.98. But because the KSI is green, right? So I kind of believe that the upside is still going to be there. So $75.04 will be the target level with 60 cents from now. If you think that you want to give it a try, I can stop you, okay? All right, so look at the cryptocurrency space. Okay, cryptocurrency space yesterday, Ethereum came down, went down to the low of 27.77, and then now it's trading back above the opening price and above pivot 1. As you can see, whenever any market, even like crypto, once you understand the rule of the game, you just have to follow through. So you can see that what happened initially, you can see that initially it's all right. This is what happened at ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. And then after that, it started to go above OP, right? But once it crosses above OP and above pivot 1, that is where suddenly you see the upsurge on the Ethereum itself. Okay, so this again very tell you that it's so important to follow the OP and the pivot 1 rule. Very, very important rule. Okay, that's for today. All right. So if that's the case of today, then we should see that there could be some bottoming out factor today. So watch out for Ethereum. It may trade higher later. We hit 3,000 maybe. Let's take a look. Then look at this one. Will be Ethereum. Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin also hit 40,000, and every time it hit 40,700 area, it always stop there and rebound. So again, it seems that the market knows this number exists. Now this is not a KCB number. So if you want to bring this number down, 40,753, this will be the level for this. Now today, the Bitcoin is an inverse pivot. Can you see that? Inverse pivot, right? Yeah, inverted pivot, right? So which means that if the market stay above OP, very good chance it will be drawn up to 44,000 today. There's a chance for Bitcoin to see 44,000 today if you are looking for that. But if the market really, turn out bad and then come back down, this should will help you. There's a lot of this KCB around, so it should be all right. Okay, all right. So that will be the overall coverage of today's MAO. I covered all the technical, the global news, and I share with you my personal thing of this October month. And I tell you today that you must take care of the Hang Seng and China market because they're going to close for the long weekend. That is for Hong Kong. Then resume again, but China will be all the way until the next following week. All right. So that will be all for today's MAO. I hope that you like it. Again, remember what I shared about October month. Tomorrow we'll do a bit more coverage on October month and see whether or not we can pick up something from that. All right, that'll be all for today. Thank you guys. Have a great day. This is Cal signing off. Bye-bye.